Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2023 and another part of the Journeyman with Leeds United. Today we are beginning Season 10 of the story so far. A great jumping on point if you are new around here. Make sure you click that subscribe button for daily Football Manager videos, and of course hit the like button if you are enjoying, and let me know down in the comment section how your saves are going on. Today we start Season 10 with two very tough matches in the Premier League, one away to Newcastle United at St James's Park before bringing Chelsea to Elland Road and seeing how our new signings get on this season. So yesterday we had the transfer special. We had a quiet summer. We didn't have a lot of money to spend. We did manage to get rid of a couple of players that I would count as dead wood, and got a decent amount for them and reinvested that into the squad. And I'm pretty happy with the squad, but I'm also a little bit worried that we haven't strengthened enough. So let's just have a little look at our transfer business over the summer then. We'll start with the players out. So the first player to leave was Morgan Gibbs-White, who of course has been here for donkey's years from Middlesbrough. He joined them for 19.75 million. Didn't really play too much last season, only the 4 starts. Did all right the season before, but generally not really been a fabulous player for Leeds. He's an all right attacking midfielder, but I think we definitely wanted to improve that position, and he's 31 years old, will be 32 in January. To get £20 million for him, I think was a good bit of business from our point of view. We also got rid of Hugo Ekitike. We of course brought him in on a free transfer the previous year. He made 2 starts all season. Didn't really do a lot at all. We managed to get £30 million from him from West Ham United, so I feel like we've completely mugged them off. He's 29 years old, will be 30 come the end of the season. So yeah, again, very, very happy with that bit of business there. We then also have more recently got rid of a bit of the deadwood, Joe Bursick, Chris Williams, and 29-year-old Angzar Nauf. Now, he certainly isn't deadwood. Was a good player for us last season. Did only make the 21 starts, so to get £48 million for a player turning 30 this season, I didn't think was so bad. He had a brilliant season the year before, but 48 million, we couldn't turn down that sort of money. On the ins, not so much business, really. I'll show you a few of them. Johnny Ballesteros has come in, 18-year-old Colombian striker. He's come in from Atlético Nacional for 1.8 million. I think he's going to be an absolutely cracking player. Unfortunately, he's gone back on loan to them and hasn't scored since. So he's going to come to us in bad form, but excellent finishing, excellent first touch, good pace. I think definitely one for the future. 5-star ability right there. We then brought in William Malman, who is a 24-year-old Brazilian attacking midfielder. He looks absolutely insane. We've brought him in for only 15.75 million. He's had a wonderful career so far at Palmeiras. Excellent first touch, excellent dribbling, excellent free kick taking, long shots, passing, technique, decisions, flair, stamina, natural fitness, agility, anticipation. This guy's going to be brilliant. He's going to be the Morgan Gibbs-White replacement, if you like. In behind the striker, can still improve. He's only 24 years old, and I think he's going to take the Premier League by storm this year. Certainly looks that type of character. We then also bolstered our defence with 27-year-old Luke Mbete, who is an English centre-back. Very good tackling, good heading, good jumping reach. Fits into our system perfectly. 6'2", he's nice and tall, bulky. He's come in from Copenhagen. He's had a good few years over there. £9 million we've brought him in for, and could definitely get 3, 4, 5 years out of him while he's at his peak. We then brought in Burak Ince. He's come in from Schalke. Again, very good-looking player, 27-year-old attacking midfielder. He's going to be rotating with William Malman. in that position. Again, very, very cheap, 9.75 million. He's played very, very well in the Bundesliga over the years. Used to play for Bayern Munich and certainly played very, very well for them. So looking forward to seeing what he's got. And of course, we had the two loans turning into permanent signings. Edgar Navarro, who joined us last season and just went from strength to strength. We turned him from a middling player into a hopefully an elite talent. Yeah, he is an elite winger now. So it's amazing what a season of football can do for you. And I think he's just going to go from strength to strength. He's only 24 years old. He's already got ridiculous attributes. He's already improved a lot during his time here. If we actually have a look at his progress bar, you can see he started down there and is going from strength to strength as he goes on. Did have a little injury, which set him back a little, but by the end of the season, he was back to his best. Francisco Jorge, again, another player that we've brought in permanently from our loan, £26.5 million towards the end of last year. He was brilliant. Again, another example of if you give players a bit of a run in the first team, then they can really pay you back for it. Look at that progress there. I will just show you Edgar Navarro as well, because I realised my ugly mug was in the way. You know, he started down here when he joined us, had a brilliant start, got injured, and then took a little bit of time to get back to that level by the end of the season. But that's where he was, and I think at the start of this season, he really will be a top talent. So, yeah. An interesting transfer window. We've got 11.5 million to spend, so we can bring in a couple of more players potentially. We have also got a little bit of money in the transfer kitty, or the wage budget kitty at least, to try and bring in another player or two. But I'm pretty happy with the squad. I think we're in a good position. You know, last year we definitely overachieved and finished third in the Premier League. We're probably not going to manage that again, especially now we're juggling Champions League football. But the media think we're going to finish 8th. I sort of agree with that. We're only expected to finish top half, so I'm not that bothered really where we finished. But Crystal Palace, they finished in the top 4. They're only predicted 13th this year. They're going to be playing Champions League football. Everton were up in the top half. They're in the Conference League this year, and they're predicted to finish down in 15th. Fulham are back in the Premier League. Wolves are back in the Premier League after a couple of years away as well. So I think it's going to be a really entertaining Premier League season, because you've got 19 teams in there that I think can really compete for maybe even top half football. Stoke will be an unknown quantity because they've just come back up into the Premier League, but they've got pedigree. We know that a cold night on a Tuesday away at Stoke is going to be a tough one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this season. I think this league is getting better and better, so competitive. We've got new managers at Arsenal. Marco Rose has taken over there. Chelsea have appointed Abel Ferreira from Napoli. But most of the summer, Chelsea and Arsenal were without a manager. I believe, who else was the other team? Brighton were the other team, but they've, of course, gone down. But Southampton have been signing lots and lots of great players. This guy will be forever the one that slipped through the net. I'm hoping that we have the final laugh with Malman and Ince, but this guy looks incredible. 5-star player. He is going to be a legendary player, you would think, by the end of his career. He's 22 years old. He's had an insane career so far at Anderlecht, and Southampton managed to get him. Jeffrey Dethia, he'd agreed terms with us as well, but decided to go to Southampton, which says a lot about where we are as a football club at the moment. He's apparently the second best player in the Premier League behind Erling Haaland, so our work is definitely cut out for us. But we're taking on Newcastle today, who are predicted to finish in 5th. They are in the Champions League as well, because they must have won the Europa League or something similar. So we have got 5 clubs in the Europa, in the Champions League this year. Let's just double check. Did they win the Europa? No, they didn't win the Europa League. So how are they in the Champions League? How are Newcastle in the Champions League? because they finished 5th last year, I believe. UEFA Europa League runners-up. But that was the previous year. I'm confused at how they're in the Champions League. Are they actually in the Champions League? Yeah, they are. I'm not really sure how. How did that happen? I'm trying to work this out now, because Crystal Palace finished 4th, Newcastle finished 5th, Man United won the league, Liverpool finished 2nd, we finished 3rd. So do the top 5 qualify for the Premier League now? Let's just have a little look at this. 5th Europa League group stage. Depending on the winner of... Who won the Europa League? Did Liverpool win the Europa League or something? Is that what happened? No. Did Man United win the Europa League? No. Oh, did Crystal Palace win the Europa League? I assume not. No. I am really confused. How have we got 5 Premier League teams in the Champions League? And yet... Yeah, that makes no sense. How have Newcastle qualified for the Champions League? Can we look on their news, potentially? And go back. Can you do that? Is that a thing? I'm really confused now. I'm going to go and see if I can work it out. Well, that will remain a mystery. I have no idea. Any ideas down in the comments, that would be great. Newcastle certainly didn't win any competitions last season. They did finish 2nd in the Europa League phase. I don't know if that does anything for you. But it also seems to be the case that there's 5 Italian teams. Now, if we have a little look at the Europa League, I believe it might have even been Fiorentina that won the... Oh, it was Brescia that won the league. Now, are they in the Champions League this year? No. Oh, well. I thought I'd cracked it for a second there. Never mind. Let's get into the team for today then. We're going to continue playing our positive gegenpressing style. I know a few of you asked for Kone to be defensive, but I think just keep going with what we had going for us last season. I think that's going to be the best way to go about it. So, James Crouch will start in goal because Lunin is injured for the next couple of months. We've then got Santos, Mbete, Tiara and Mizajin in defence. Casadei and Kone will start in defensive midfield positions with Navarro, Malman and Horgate down behind Peter Murray up top. We're giving Peter Murray the nod because he's had a very good pre-season. Vitinha, of course, scored an insane amount of goals last season. I think we need to keep him playing, otherwise he is just going to degrade because he is over 30 now. So we'll see how Peter Murray does today. We are expecting Newcastle to win this match. I think they're very much the favourites. But fingers crossed we can go out there. We can play the way we usually do. But that Newcastle team, very, very scary when you look at it. You know, the likes of Olmo, Tezgal in there, Bellingham, pulling the strings in the middle of the park. But we've got a very, very attractive team as well. A very young team, a hungry team that finished 3rd in the Premier League last season. So let's go out there. Let's, at the very least, try not to get beat. But I'm hoping to see a complete team performance today because we've kept most of the squad very, very stable. So here's Malman. He whips it in towards the middle, but it's away. He has Wirtz now on the counter-attack for Newcastle United. In this fixture last season, Newcastle won 4-0 at St James's Park. So we want some progress on that. Here's Mizogen now. Gets it to Tiana. Now to Mbete, to Casadai. Casadai gets it wide to Thiago Santos. Running down this right-hand side. Finds Navarro now. Navarro pushes in, and that's a great start of the season for him. Looking lively on that right-hand side. Cutting inside. Trying to get the ball in the back of the net, and that's all you can ask from your inverted winger on the right-hand side, really. Here's Udogi. Gets it to Wirtz. Now to Dino. And now to Gehi. To Antonio. To Bellingham now. Bellingham gets it wide. To Vanderson with the shot, and it's over the bar. And Crouch can breathe again. But hopefully he can stake his claim to the place. You know, if he does well in these next few matches, then Lunin's going to have to work hard to get back to that number one position. He won the Golden Glove last year. Great ball over the top by Kone, by the way, and he has Peter Murray with a chance, and that is the sort of chance he needs to be taking a lot more this season. We had a £75 million offer from Tottenham, but we rejected it because I think we are still in belief that Peter Murray can come good at this football club. So fingers crossed that's what can happen. Here's Olmo now on that left-hand side. This is a good run from Olmo. Very good run, in fact, and he whips it in towards Wirtz. Wirtz forward to Tezgel, but away by Tiana now. Here's Williams with the shot. Oh, it's in. It's in, apparently. Wow, that was the most Frank Lampard-esque shot I've seen in Football Manager. In off the bar, bounced behind the net, and, well, there was a moment while the referee was working out if that went in. It was a terrific strike from Williams, and there you can see it just bounced over the line. Wow, that was pretty close, wasn't it? Oh my goodness, it was the absolute replica of that goal in the 2010 World Cup with Lampard. But Newcastle score the first goal of the match. You feel slightly against the run of play. We've had a couple of good moves, but well, straight from the kickoff, there is another highlight. Casadai gets it to Navarro, who loses it, and well, Newcastle back being patient, working from the back here. Here's Antonio now, gets it to Bellingham. Bellingham forward to Williams. Here's Tezgel. Now over to Vanderson, and this is a chance for 2-0, but Mizogen cuts it out, and what a player he is as well. But he's lost it to Vanderson. It's into the middle, and Tezgel over the bar. But that was close for Newcastle United. We need to be just a little bit careful here. We don't want to go 2-0 down and start panicking. We can still play our way 1-0 down, but might have to change some things up if we feel that's going to be required at 2-0. Here's Williams Jr. Gets it to Bellingham. That's forward. What a ball that is towards Vanderson, and it looks like 2-0 all over it here. It's Williams Jr. again, and whoa, he looks like a good player. Nico Williams. Didn't realise that was Nico Williams. Should have worked it out the first time when he scored, but wow. I mean, that's a lot of space that Vanderson had, and Williams with the shot, and makes it 2-0. Newcastle off to their best possible start. Malman into the middle. Tiata's there with the header. Oh, it's over the other side, and Luke Mbete puts it in. And it is now 2-1 just before half-time. And on his debut, Mbete with the finish. And that's what we need, really. We need a second central defender that can do that. It was... well, it looked like Dino with the header initially. I thought it was Tiata, but alas, it is 2-1. We're back in it at half-time. So, let's see what we can do. Don't lose faith, basically. Let's keep going in this second half. Now, do we need to bring anybody off? Mizogen has got an injury, so we'll bring on Soppy for him. Yeah, Peter Murray not playing well, so let's get Vitinha on straight away and see what he can do in the second. Oh, for goodness sake, Malman's injured now. I hope that's not a bad one. Burak Ince can come on. Good job we've got a hand-in-hand replacement for him. But Yeah, that is disappointing that Malman got injured so quickly there. And then here's Nico Williams on the right-hand side. Gets it to Bellingham now. Bellingham pushing forward. And, well, Soppy tried to cut it out, but Williams gets it in and Olmo has a chance. Hits the bar. Goodness me. How did he miss from there? Here's Udogie now. Will he whip it in? No, he's still got it. He whips it into Wirtz now with the header over the bar. And Newcastle will feel like they should have put this game to bed by now. Right, what are we going to do then? Namasso's going to come on for Holgate. And I think Aronson is going to come on to that right-hand side. So we've got 22 minutes to try and get back into this. We're going to go attacking. It's certainly a better result than last season's 4-0 turnover, but I think shows how far we still have to go as a football club. But can we get a late equaliser? We certainly don't look like doing it. 5 minutes of added time. Don't think it's going to happen. And there it is, full time. So Newcastle United win the first match of the season. A very tough second half there. Looks like Newcastle definitely just shut up shop. We'll say we're proud of their efforts anyway. We played okay. You know, we had a couple of good chances. I think if Peter Murray had put that one in at the start of the match, that would have been good. Malman's going to be out for a month. That's going to stunt his progress quite significantly, you would think. You know, he's going to probably go down a little bit, which would be a shame. But it is what it is. Mizogin's injured as well for 3 days. Mbete scores, which is nice to see. But we've got Chelsea in 3 days, and we've got to try and put one past them. Okay then, a few little changes for this match. We've brought in Soppy at left-back to replace Mizogin. Mayano and Ramadani replace Casadei and Kone, who are a little bit under the weather. Burak Ince comes in for the injured Malman. And Vitinha returns up top in place of Peter Murray. So, here we go then. Let's see how we get on. It's going to be an interesting match against Chelsea. You know, at home, we were, almost unbeatable last season, particularly against the top clubs. So, I'm expecting us to be able to put on a good show today. But if we were to lose this match, it all of a sudden brings the pressure on. But fingers crossed we can do something good here. We can at least score a couple of goals, maybe get Vitinha on the score sheet. We scored from a set piece, of course, against Newcastle. And Nico Williams has just joined them for £72 million. And what a player he looks. 2 goals in your first Premier League start. Ain't half bad. We'll see how Chelsea get on this season. Obviously under new management and have had a couple of struggle years in the Premier League, so will be interesting to see if they get back to their best and are competing up near the top. Southampton are obviously going to look good this season. They've spent a lot of money over the summer. Here's Mason Mount with the corner kick into the middle. It's away by Tiata there. That was brilliant. Here's Trincao now from Manchester United. They signed him. £42 million, I think it was. And here he is. What a tackle that is from Soppy. No penalty, of course, for that. That was just a purely awesome tackle. And now here's Mayano. Gets it to Ramadani, to Burak Ince. Now to Soppy on the left-hand side. What can he do? He gets it forward to Holgate now, who's been given another opportunity. Holgate now into the middle. And it's, Mayano that got forward there. Could have been a penalty, Jeff, but it wasn't. Ramadani, Burak Ince now. Forward to Navarro. Edgar Navarro with the chance. And he puts it into the back of the net. And that was determination there. There was a couple of times where Chelsea came crunching in, but we battled through it. And what a finish by Edgar Navarro in the end. And it was Burak Ince with a beautifully placed pass. And Navarro with a composed finish there. And it's now Leeds United 1, Chelsea 0. Come on, boys. Let's do this. Let's get ourselves going this season. And quite nice that we've got our defeat off our backs. It's always tough, I think, at the start of the season if you have a little unbeaten spell. because you get disappointed that you don't go invincible, and we're just not gonna do that with this Leeds United team. So good to get that monkey off our back straight away. Now we can focus on the rest of the season, and we'll see how it goes. Fingers crossed. But 60 minutes gone, and we're not creating many chances, it has to be said. Many good chances. Jorge not having Santos not having a great game. I suppose we could do this and then this. I'll bring Mizogen on. Yeah, let's move Vitinha out wide and give Alvaro a bit of a run out. Hasn't had much of a chance the last 6 months, so let's give him half an hour today and see if he can pull it together. Here's Mbete, gets it to Tiata now. Tiata back to Mbete. Now to Mayano. Lovely to see him playing again. Doesn't get enough game time, really. But I think now that we've sort of settled down this season, Ramadani, a couple of injury problems at the start of this season, I think it'll be very good to see Mayano play a bit more. That was a good ball from Vitinha, but Alvaro just not quite got that match sharpness of picking up on those deliveries like he was at the start of his Leeds United career. But here's Mayano. He's going to get another chance here. Oh, Burak Ince was hiked down there. That was terrible, and I think it's a free kick. And Ince is going to have his first chance to stick one into the back of the net. He has got very, very good free kick taking ability, and here he is with a chance to put it into the back of the net. Ince over the top, hits the bar. Unlucky there. That was a very, very good effort from that range to get it dipped that low. Was very, very impressive indeed. Right, Navarro now, I think is going to come off. We're going to put Alvaro on the right-hand side, and we're going to put Peter Murray up top. So we're going to give him a chance now to see what he can do. But it's been a move we've done a few times, putting Alvaro on the right. It does seem to work quite nicely. And here's Mayano. Gets it to Soppy now. Soppy pushing forward. Here's Ramadani forward to Burak Ince, who loses it, but Mayano with the shot. And that's the sort of chance you've got to be taking as Mayano, because he has got such big competition for his position, and I think 3 out of the 4 might have scored there. Here's Burak Ince. Gets it to Alvaro. Ince struggling a little bit with the pace of the game. Here's Mizogen, gets it forward to Ramadani now. Ramadani into the middle, and it's into the back of the net by Vitinha. He's put it in, and it's now 2-0. And that was a lovely finish from him. And I think, was it Mayano with the assist there? Couldn't quite work it out. Alvaro got it to Mizogen. Mizogen to Ramadani. And it was Ramadani in. Did Mayano... He did. Did he? I don't know. Did Mayano get anything on that? He must have done. He must have headed it to Vitinha. Anyway, here's a corner for Chelsea, and I thought that was a goal there. Couldn't quite tell, but hit the side netting. Right, I think Ramadani needs to come off, and so does Mayano. Yeah, we'll go for that. But 2-0 against Chelsea. That's a very good result if we can hold on to it. Here's Burak Ince with the corner. Can we get a third? Would be rather nice. Whips it in, far post, header from Tiata, and that is our first goal of the season from a corner. And, well, it's now 3-0 against Chelsea. Very, very complete performance, very sound defensively, and to finish it off there, Ince gets his first assist as well, or second assist actually, because he had that ball to Navarro early on. So very, very high quality performance there, you would have to say. And to come out on top 3-0 against Chelsea, very impressive. Into the top 6 again, and hopefully normal service resumed is the plan anyway. So obviously Champions League league phase will be starting at some point. We will be going into that. I'll be interested to see who we're playing in that league phase, and it's going to be our first experience on this channel at least, of what the Champions League entails in this year's game. We got a little flavour of some of the knockout rounds of the Conference League last time out, or a couple of seasons ago, but now this is where it really starts. This is where the Journeyman begins its next level stuff with the Champions League. So I'm looking forward to it. Fingers crossed we can do it. Somebody asked, by the way, a couple of episodes ago, what's the end game with the Journeyman? And quite honestly, there isn't one. Obviously, I'd love to win the Champions League. I'd love to win the World Cup. I think those are two big targets of mine within this universe. It would be nice to go around Europe a little bit and win some domestic titles in maybe countries we've not played before, and also win the Premier League. I think we could do that with this Leeds squad eventually. You know, I think we've got some very, very good young players. If we can bring in a couple more and bed those into the team this year, that would be fantastic. So that's my job really now for the next couple of weeks of the transfer windows, to find those hidden gems for 1.8 million, 9 million, whatever you like, and take it from there, basically. But yeah, we will be back probably for our first Champions League match. I assume it's going to happen in September sometime. I might be wrong about that. Let's have a little look at the Champions League. When does the league phase start? Stages, no, it's on rules, I think, isn't it? Rules, league phase. So yeah, 17th of the 9th, 31. So that's when we're going to be picking back up, and that will be around about the time of this Man City game. So we'll play our first Champions League game, we'll play against Man City, and hopefully I'll introduce you to a couple of new signings. So if you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below, subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.